Hi guys, and welcome to a match day preview over on Trafford Talk. I'm happy to be joined with Alexi. How you doing, mate?
Hi mate, great. Thanks for having me on and everything.
Yeah, you're always welcome. I mean, we're just going to sit down and discuss Fulham. I mean, Bits and Bobs is meant to join us soon, so hopefully that'll obviously be a good one. You guys know what to do. I mean, we obviously get quite a lot of views and likes on Twitter, but it'd be great if you could go over on YouTube. The socials are down underneath Alexa there. If you could like and subscribe on the socials. I mean, we're also on Spotify as well if you just type up Trafford Talk. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. So about Fulham, how are you feeling about the game ahead? And have you actually, we'll start off with, have you managed to get over the fact that we drew 0-0 against Liverpool? I mean, personally, I thought we should have won it. How are you feeling moving on to this game?
I think Ollie summed up the Liverpool game really well in his interview because he said, this Liverpool point is a great point if we go and beat Fulham in the next game. I think a lot of how we view that game will depend on what happens tonight because if we go and beat Fulham tonight, you go, okay, we drew with Liverpool, we'll still be top of the league, everything. But if we drop points to Fulham, you're just suddenly thinking, oh gosh, it was really kind of starting to fade away a bit. But I thought, to be honest, the whole of the Liverpool game, I was just very nervous and I was just constantly thinking we were going to concede. But I think that's just big game nerves. But I think I look back at some of it and we did play pretty well considering it was at Anfield. I thought, we had good. It was back against the wall for about first half an hour or so, obviously, but it's always like that at Anfield. But I thought we had better chances to win the game than they did. And I think you think this as well. I think that makes you think in your head we should have won the game because you look back on the chances and is it a missed opportunity? I think in the broader scheme of things, overall, a draw's not a brilliant result, but it's good with Liverpool. I've got over it. But I think we'd all have accepted a draw easier if we hadn't had those chances because those chances, it's like almost like what could have been, isn't it?
Yeah, I think before the game actually started, I'd have taken a point at Anfield and went with it. But I mean, you need to take the context of the game and work through that. And personally, I thought we were very good after the 60-minute mark. Whenever Cavani came on, we looked better. Hold up was much better. Martial not good enough recently. Um, but yeah, I was quite angry about the result. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys were too. I think it's very pessimistic to want to draw and be happy with it. Whereas I
Mm.
wasn't. I was more, wow, like I was just sitting angry, to be honest, that night. I mean, I don't know if you're in the chat then, but you saw me. I was
Yeah, I
absolutely
noticed. But
raging. No
yeah, I
one seemed
mean,
to agree with me.
I mean, I completely get where you're coming from, to be honest. For me, the reason I wasn't angry, I was kind of just more relieved, to be honest, because I was just so stressed the whole time. Like,
Yeah,
it's such a huge game. But I mean, yeah, every now and then I think about that Pogba chance or the Rashford Cavani bit, and it is upsetting because if we had won, I mean, it's not worth thinking about, but if we had won, we'd be in just such a brilliant position, such a
yeah,
brilliant position. But
yeah. So talk to me about Fulham then. So we'll move on quickly from Liverpool. I don't want to talk about Liverpool. I absolutely hate them. So let's move on
yeah,
to Fulham. I want to hear your views about them because I mean we were talking just before we went live there, and obviously I know you know quite a lot about Fulham.
yeah. I mean, I watched their game against Tottenham the other week, and I learned quite a lot about them because my view on them, I just kind of thought they were just your standard relegation fodder, and they didn't seem to be much going with them. And some of that, like against Tottenham, I noticed on the break they created so many chances. It was just more that they couldn't finish them. But I think in that game they actually had more attempts than Tottenham did. But I think it's Cavallero. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's one of their forward players. He looks really, really, really good. Like he looks like a
Yeah,
really
he
great
does, doesn't he?
player. And their defense is pretty good as well. But their problem, I think, this season they've only won two games, and they've had 6 draws. So I think defensively they're quite good, but like in terms of finishing chances, they're not great. But I mean, a big part of their creative hub is the wing backs. But the good thing for us is Robinson got sent off against Chelsea,
Yeah.
so he won't be able to play in this game. So that I guess negates one of their threats. But I think people, I think we'll definitely beat them in terms of my confidence is that we will beat them. I've no doubt we will. We're good enough. But it's not one of those games that people think it is, where you just go, oh, it's easy, we'll just turn up and win, because they're really going to fight for this. They're really, really compact defensively. They've got good threats on the break. And I think Scott Parker's actually doing a relatively good job now, because he was in danger at the start of the season, but he seems to be doing all right
Yeah.
the way
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see it.
they've only lost one in the last 5
Yeah,
against Chelsea. And they also got a man sent off against Newcastle as well, and they managed to draw. So they're not a bad team.
mm,
They just, as you said, going forward seems to be the main issue. But yeah, Everton United, thanks for joining us. Need to win against Fulham today and hope City drop points. I mean, we just need to play and win every game, to be honest. See, if you want to win the league, we need to win Everton and City. We need to beat the big teams. And definitely, and you can agree with me, we need to pick up points against teams like Fulham. So yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer for me. But yeah, I'm going to get
yeah,
straight into the lineups. I mean, I want to know, I'm guessing you go with the Gea in goals, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah, so
100%. I mean,
about the defenders, about the centre backs. I mean, Lindelof came in, he was great. And I mean, I don't know, Bailly.
see,
So what will you do? Because it's a bit of a dilemma just now.
see, I think what's going to happen. I think what we keep forgetting, or I keep forgetting, we've actually got Liverpool again on Sunday. So he might want to play a similar team against Liverpool again. And the fact he played Lindelof against Liverpool the other day makes me think Lindelof will play on Sunday. So for that reason, I've gone with Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bailly, and Telles as the back four, because I think Shaw will probably get a rest, because he was great the other night and he just ran and ran and ran and ran. I mean,
Yeah,
that's for me.
man the match.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? I mean, to be honest, I've had a lot of doubts over his United career, because I just think sometimes he doesn't make that overlapping run. His intelligence doesn't always seem to be there, but he's proved me massively wrong. He's been really, really good in the last few months, really. I mean, against Liverpool, it was staggering how good he was, I thought. But I think Telles will come in for this one. It's good to change the fullbacks up. I mean, the problem is we can't. There's no one to really change Wan-Bissaka for, so we can't really rotate him at
Yeah,
all, which is a
we
bit
need
of
the
a
right back.
problem. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then I mean, as you said, Alex Telles. I mean, I think Alex Telles is great as well. People need to remember. I mean, he came from Portugal, quite a slow league. I mean,
Mm,
same as Bruno, and he's fitted in absolutely perfectly. But then you look at Shaw, and it looks as if it's pushed him on. So Wan-Bissaka definitely needs
yeah.
similar
Well,
competition.
I was going to say that's a really good point that you were saying there about competition, because I mean, that's exactly it. Like, you look at Shaw's performances before and after Tellez. I mean, he's obviously improved on his game as well, but just having that competition and not being just, oh, you have to play because there's no one else every week. And yeah, I think with Wan-Bissaka, I think that would take his game forward a lot if we had someone to compete for him. But I'm not saying he's a complacent player, because I don't think he is, but it doesn't help your performances, I don't think, if you just know you're in the team every week, regardless.
Yeah, for me, I would go with probably Telles as well. I think he does deserve a run out. I think you also need to kind of watch with Shaw as well. You need to kind of move him in slowly. I mean, Shaw's been injured for a while, so I can understand why. But yeah, I go with the here. Telles, probably Bailly, I think will come back in. they're a much more like physical team. Fulham, I'd say, obviously with the wingers and the striker, Reed's quite strong as well. Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. I mean, I wish we did have someone and instead of Wan-Bissaka, but yeah, we're going to move on to midfield. And we've got a comment. I'll pass this one over to you. Thanks, guys, for getting involved as well. So, should Bruno be rested?
I just don't think I don't think we can rest Bruno, to be honest. The reason maybe we should, but the reason for this is kind of like what you it's kind of like what you were saying though. It's like we need to win every game because we're in such a big, if we're in a title race, we need to win every game. So I think it's really difficult to target a specific time. I mean, if we weren't playing Liverpool on Sunday, you'd say rest him in the cup, but I mean, for me, it would probably make more sense to rest him against Sheffield United than it would tonight. It's a difficult away game. You sometimes need someone with this quality.
Yeah, Sheffield United look as if they're pretty much down. I mean, I'm pretty sure the guys, probably not me. I mean, I'm not usually on this. I'm standing in. The guys, Alexi, you'll probably be on as well. The preview review for the Sheffield United game. I feel quite chilled out about that game. This game, not so much. Fulham look a good side, just unlucky. So yeah, I'm slightly nervous. I mean, I just want us to win the league so desperately. I don't know about you. I've not seen it for years, so.
Oh, do you know what?
I'm ready.
It's been like, I was thinking about this. I forgot what it feels like to even just be top of the league. It's just
been a while.
It's a really strange feeling. Yeah, it's been so long because it's always been like, oh, if we win our games in hand, we can get into third or fourth.
Yeah.
Over the years, and then suddenly we found ourselves top, and it was like, oh my gosh, look where we are now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm chuffed with the fact that we're still in it just now after such a terrible start to the season.
Yeah,
and I mean Fulham and our team, who we've obviously got it a lot better than them, but they got off to a terrible start. I mean, Scott Parker, as you said, looked as if he was going out, but I mean, they picked up points elsewhere. A lot of draws, which teams like Sheffield United aren't seeming to get. And they've also got 2 games in hand, sitting in 18th. So they could get out of the relegation zone. They're definitely not down.
Yeah.
And they're definitely a Premier League team, as we know previously.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, myself included, I think everyone just looked at it at the start of the season and went, Fulham are different. They're gone, 100%. It just, in my head, I just didn't see a way. But I think I slightly underestimated maybe the management and maybe the quality of some of the players, because I think it was what you were saying earlier as well. You said about they played Newcastle with 10 men and Chelsea with 10 men. They did lose the Chelsea game, but they managed to draw with Newcastle with 10 men. And it seems there's a really good ethos and spirit at that club, which, in a relegation battle, it's cliche, but that is basically the thing you need.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you look at Sheffield United and they don't look like a team that's played together before. They just look like they're already beaten and stuff. But Fulham, yeah, I think especially, if there was fans, I'd be really worried, to be honest. It's one of those grounds as well. Yeah. We have struggled on a bit over the years. I mean, there was one, what season was it? I think we lost 2 or 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0 in 2009. Yeah.
Yeah, Rooney and Scholes got sent off.
Yeah, it was an absolute terrible game.
Was that the same game?
We went in 3-0 at the start of the season, I'm sure. And then we went to Craven Cottage and get absolutely battered. 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mad. But I mean, I'm going to quickly just read out guys like the guys who are out for the game today. So for us, I mean, no one really amazing, and it's going to change much. It's Phil Jones, Pellistri, Rojo, and Brandon Williams. So I'm not too bothered about who we're missing. I mean, Pellistri, I think he's got COVID. Hopefully we'll see him maybe on the bench soon. But yeah, I'm not losing any sleep on that. I don't know about you. And then you go
No.
over to Fulham. I think they're missing some better players. They're obviously missing Anton Robinson. As you've said, he gets sent off against Chelsea. My throat is so sorry, guys. Against Chelsea. Terence Kongolo. Again, I think he must be injured, and Tom Kearney as well. And Lamina, who's previously been linked to us. I mean, that's how far we came. He's questionable as
Yeah,
well.
yes.
So, what from those guys, the Fulham guys, that you think? I mean, they're going to miss out on not having them in the team in the side for this game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kearney's a pretty decent player.
Yeah,
So I think they'll miss him a lot. And yeah, Robinson, I mean, that's really, really big for them. I think losing. I mean, a team that plays with wing backs, I mean, it's an obvious point, but a team that plays with wing backs, when you lose your wing backs, it's awful because a lot of your creativity is centered around them. I mean, I think they'll be a lot more worried about their absentees than we are about ours, to be
yeah,
honest.
definitely. I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep that Phil Jones can't start. I mean, I don't know about you. Would you go to his testimonial, Phil Jones, actually talking about it? I mean, I know you're a season ticket holder, yeah.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I take going to any game I can. So yeah,
Huh.
I'd be
Yeah.
there. Phil Jones test. I mean, to be honest, I would go genuinely. Just I guess it's because
To be fair,
everything.
it's a shame for him. I think. I mean, he's had it quite tough recently. So yeah.
Mm,
Anyway, I'm going off an absolute tangent, but I mean, you look at their bench. Fulham, they don't have much on their bench though. I mean, they've got Josh Onoma. They've got, I mean, Joe Bryan, who will probably start, I reckon, to fill in for Robinson. Kamara, I think he's absolutely terrible. He's just like one of those guys that you fling on. It's like having Eric Bailly up front, to be honest. Like, it really, I say that and he'll score. So please do not clip this, guys,
yeah,
or
oh, yeah, don't
whoever's
jinx it.
watching. But I say that. But yeah, I mean, they're starting
Yeah,
11. And they've obviously got, as you said, quite a wide formation with their wing backs. Kenny Tete, he used to play for Leon, great player to bring in as well. And then you look throughout the team, they've got Lookman, who, I mean, I don't know about you, I just can't stop thinking about that chip in the last minute
oh,
of that
oh,
game. I can't remember who they're playing. Why would you do that?
that was that was like the worst, most stupid penalty I've ever seen. I mean,
Why
I
would
would
you
have
do that?
paid to have seen Roy Keane being in the studio reacting to that. I mean, God, I mean, yeah, that was really bizarre from Lookman. I mean, I think it's an interesting one because he was he at Leipzig last year? I
Yes,
think Lookman, and
from
he
Everton.
was really, yeah. I mean, I think he's a good player. I mean, it's interesting to me that he went to Fulham, to be honest, when he was at Leipzig. But I guess it's about getting Premier League experience and stuff. But in spite of his penalty taking, which is yeah, woeful, I think he is a decent player.
Yeah, he's young as well. So I'm going to
Yeah.
move on to the strikers of United. And I just want to hear who would you start in your front three? Guessing we'll go with that.
So I've kind of gone for a kind of diamond. So
Right,
I
okay.
think I'd go Pogba, Cavani, and Rashford if you want as a front three. Um, and obviously the big exclusion there is Marshall. And I just think I was it. I think we played when we played Burnley last week. Ollie played Marshall, Cavani, and Rashford, and obviously we won the game. And I think we actually played very well for large periods of it. But I noticed at points in the penalty area, it was like Marshall and Cavani were getting each other's way because they were trying to get into the same positions. Um, and I think Cavani hasn't really had a proper chance yet to just go. Ollie needs to go to him and say, "Look, you're the number 9. You're starting the next few games. It's yours. Go for it. Score some goals." Because Martial has scored 2 goals in 14 Premier League games this season, and I really like Anthony Martial. I've defended him a lot over the years, but it isn't good enough,
It's
is it?
tough.
Really, and I think Cavani really deserves a chance because Cavani hasn't really had a run of games yet for obviously various reasons. So yeah, I definitely think that should be the front three, and I think while Rashford didn't have his best game on Sunday, my thing with Rashford is when he doesn't play particularly well, he still tends to do something. He still tends to score or assist. I never watch a game where I think I don't notice him because even though he wasn't brilliant against Liverpool, he was still making those runs. I mean, so many counter attacks, he was driving forward and everything. And
Yeah, he
yeah,
was
I just
always
feel
good.
like, yeah, 100%. And I really, really like Marshall, and I hope he will come back into form. But I just think it's at the point now where Cavani does need to start.
Yeah, I absolutely love Cavani. Seeing when he come on against Liverpool, I was up celebrating. I was like, we've got a chance here. And he did. He provided this chances, hold up play, something different. And
Yeah,
I mean, maybe you think, yeah, you could be right. We go with the two up front, narrow against the five at the back. Fulham, probably that's what they'll do. That's just a guess. That would probably work better than wingers because, I mean, I think Rashford does better down the middle. And I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but Martial always gets involved every game. And he's been involved in 55% of our goals this year for a reason because he's our best player. So yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I do feel quite strongly about Rashford compared to Martial. I think Martial kind of just kind of walks about the park, looks sad, looks if he's hard done by. But yeah, just I would definitely go with Rashford and Cavani up front for me as well. So I've got another comment here. I mean, quite a different one. What do you think about this, mate? Lindelof at defensive mid. I mean, I've never thought about it. I
I
suppose he
mean,
can play ball playing, but I don't think that I would mix things up just now, personally.
to be fair, I mean, it's not the craziest idea I've ever heard. I mean, his passing is very, very good. As we saw, was it Sheffield United? I think he got this. Was it an assist he got? He just pinged
Yeah,
it. I
I think
think it
so.
was to Rashford. I think, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the point Lindelof gets put there in holding midfield is either if we had injury problems or we signed another centre back. Because if we were to sign a centre back in the summer and he was that far down the pecking order, he might be experimented in holding midfield. I mean, Ferguson used to do it quite a lot, didn't he? Put players in different positions. I
He
mean,
could do anything.
it
He
was
could do anything, though. So it's very,
yeah,
very
that is true.
different. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll
um,
move on from that point. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do it just now. Whenever we're sitting, let's say, basically top of the league, with a game in hand, if we win. So yeah, I probably wouldn't do it just now, but in the long term, possibly. If we do like, I mean, if we sign like an Upamecano, someone to partner Harry Maguire, then yeah, I probably would. So, I mean, we're going to keep this one short because we'll be on for the review tonight. And I'm on with Natalie from Barnby Army later on at 5 p.m. UK time. So if you guys just feel kind of on edge about the game tonight, loose end, nothing to do, you guys can obviously tune in. It'll be live on YouTube and on Twitter as usual. So it'd be great if you guys could join, share your views. We talk about women's football, United in general, absolutely everything. So yeah, and then obviously we'll be live tonight with a review as well with Ahmed and some of the fans. They'll be happy to join him. So I'm going to quickly just finish off here with a score prediction. So what do you think, mate, for the night ahead? What do you think the score could be against Fulham?
it's going to be very, very. I think it'll be hard to break them down. I think it'll be, to be honest, a fairly low scoring game. 1-0, 1-0 United.
I'll go 2-0 because I mean, I know it's a different team, but I can just always remember Martial's goal from last game. And I know you did put it up. I liked it last night. And it's Martial's goal where he literally ran from the halfway line and Fulham literally collapsed. Collapsed right in front of him. Everyone just flung themselves at him and didn't put in much effort. So hopefully we'll get that tonight as well. I mean, guys, thanks for joining. Alexi, you're always welcome. As you know, you'll be a regular guest, and happy to have you on board. So
yeah, it's great. Thank you.
thanks for coming on, and thanks, guys, for staying on the podcast as well. So you know what to do, guys. I keep doing this wrong. I keep going this way because on my screen it's this way, but that way. So follow us on the socials underneath Alexi. And yeah, I'm going to just log off here. So thanks for watching, guys.